Today we are going to know about network analysis. In network analysis, there are three models: PERT, CPM, and crashing. Before knowing about PERT, CPM, and crashing, let us know about network analysis. Network analysis is also known as network scheduling. Here there is a definition about network analysis. Once let's have a look at our network analysis definition. Network scheduling or analysis is a technique used for planning and scheduling large projects in the fields of construction, maintenance, fabrication, and purchasing of computer systems, etc. It is a method of minimizing the trouble spots by determining critical factors and coordinating various parts of the overall job. Let us see. Normally, what is meant by network analysis means it's the type of scheduling or analyzing a technique, and it is a technique which is used for planning and scheduling large projects, which means by using network analysis only we can estimate when we can complete a project, or is fully dependent upon the network analysis, because while doing network analysis we can estimate how much time it may take and how much cost it will take, and by doing network analysis we can minimize the cost and as well as the critical factors which may affect on our work will be minimized. This is about network analysis. And let's see the basic terms in network analysis. There are mainly two basic terms in network analysis. They are network and activity. Network means it is a graphical representation of logically and sequentially connected arrows and nodes. In network diagram, the events are connected through arrows and as nodes. It is also known as arrow diagrams. And the second basic term is activity. An activity represents some action and is a time consuming effort necessary to complete a particular part of the overall project. It is an activity represents some action, which means let's have a look over the diagram now. See here, start event, end event, and activity. Activity means it shows a process or an action between two events. The two events are nothing but start event and end event. Before knowing what is meant by activity means, let's have an example. Suppose we wanted to go from home to college, right? Now home is the start event and college is the end event. The process, which means we are going from home to college, this action is known as activity. Where we are starting from home and we are ending at college. The meanwhile process what we are doing from home to college, which means we are going, the process or the action what we are doing between home and college is known as activity. And now let's learn about merge event and burst event. What is meant by merge event and what is meant by burst event? Merge event means, seeing here a diagram that where the arrows are coming inside to a circle. Here let's take the arrows as activities and the circle as event or node. Now let's see what is meant by merge event. Merge event, it is not necessary for an event to be the ending event of only one activity, as it can be the ending event of two or more activities. Here there is no rule that a event must be ended with only one activity, but it can be ended with 2 to 3 activities. Such type of an event is known as merge event. That is about merge event. In merge event, two or more activities can be ended at an merge event, and once observe this diagram. In this diagram, the arrows are coming out, which means it is known as burst event. Why? Because once have a look on the definition. If the event happens to be the beginning of event of two or more activities, it is defined as a burst event. If see here, three arrows are coming out from the node where this is a burst event, which means from this event, three activities are coming out. From this event, three activities are coming out. So, this is known as burst event. And let's have a look over preceding activity, concurrent activity, and succeeding activity. Here preceding activity means already we have seen this diagram. In this, see once, preceding activity means here an activity, okay, which means this is the process. This activity అంటే బిఫోర్ అక్కరింగ్ దిస్, ఈ యాక్టివిటీ జరగక ముందు ఇక్కడ ఆల్రెడీ ఒక యాక్టివిటీ జరిగి ఉంటే దానిని మనం ఏమి అంటాము అంటే ప్రిసీడింగ్ యాక్టివిటీ అంటాము. ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే, if the activity is occurred after the event అంటే ఒక ఈవెంట్ జరిగిపోయినాక ఇంకొక యాక్టివిటీ జరిగితే, ఒక యాక్టివిటీ కంప్లీట్ అయినాక వేరొక యాక్టివిటీ జరిగితే దానిని సక్సీడింగ్ యాక్టివిటీ అంటాము. లెట్స్ సీ ద డెఫినిషన్స్ ఆఫ్ preceding activity and succeeding activity. See here, activity that must be accomplished before a given event can occur are termed as preceding event. What have said is, ఒక యాక్టివిటీ జరిగే ముందువే ఒక యాక్టివిటీ జరిగి ఉంటే ఇంకొక యాక్టివిటీ జరిగి ఉంటే దాన్ని ప్రిసీడింగ్ యాక్టివిటీ అనుకుంటాం. వీ హ్యావ్ అన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దట్ వీఆర్ స్టార్టింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ హోమ్ అండ్ గోయింగ్ టు కాలేజ్. దట్ ఈజ్ అన్ యాక్టివిటీ. అంటే ఇంటి నుంచి కాలేజ్కి వెళ్ళడం అనేది ఒక యాక్టివిటీ అనుకుంటే, ఇంటి నుంచి బయలుదేరే ముందు జరిగిన మీన్స్ లైక్ గెటింగ్ ఫ్రెష్ అప్, ఈటింగ్ టిఫిన్స్ వగేరా వగేరా విల్ బి దేర్, రైట్? వాటిని మనం ఏమంటామంటే ప్రిసీడింగ్ యాక్టివిటీ. వాట్ ఈజ్ మీన్ బై సక్సీడింగ్ యాక్టివిటీ? సక్సీడింగ్ యాక్టివిటీ అంటే యాక్టివిటీస్ దట్ కెనాట్ బి అకంప్లీస్డ్ అంటిల్ అన్ ఈవెంట్ హ్యాస్ అక్కర్డ్ are termed as succeeding activity. Here the succeeding activity means ఆఫ్టర్ గోయింగ్ టు కాలేజ్, అంటే కాలేజ్కి వెళ్ళే వరకు ఇట్స్ అన్ యాక్టివిటీ. గోయింగ్ ఇన్ టు ద కాలేజ్, గోయింగ్ టు క్లాస్ రూమ్, మీన్స్ entering to college and going to classroom. This is an activity which occurs after the completion of going to college. That is known as succeeding activity. And the between, which means coming home from home to college, is known as concurrent activity. Activities that cannot be accomplished concurrently are known as concurrent activity. Now let's know about dummy activity. Dummy activity means డమ్మీ యాక్టివిటీ అంటే దీనికి, ఈ డమ్మీ యాక్టివిటీకి ద విల్ బీ నో రిసోర్సెస్. దానికి రిసోర్సెస్ ఏమీ కన్జ్యూమ్ అవ్వవు, అలాగే టైం కూడా కన్జ్యూమ్ అవ్వదు. కానీ దే మస్ట్ బీ ఏ లింక్, ఒక లింక్ అనేది ఉంటుంది, విచ్ ఈజ్ నోన్ యాజ్ డమ్మీ. ఓకే, like we can take an example that in traffic signals, the traffic police may are using some dummy like posters, or dummy traffic police will be there, which means which pretends, in the same way we pretends a link between the events. That is known as dummy activity. Now let's see how the dummy activity will be. This is the dummy activity, how it represents. See here, from B to D, one event has been occurred, and from that event we are connecting that event with a dummy line to another, because there is no activity there, but it must be represented. Now we'll see an sum where we can understand about the dummy activity. Once let's have a look over the question. I already told you that first of all we have to analyze the question before attempting a question. Before answering a question, we have to know what the question has been asked and how to solve it. Once have a look over that question. In this question he is asking us construct he is asking us to construct a network for the project. Here, activities and precedence relationships are as given below. In this question, he has given that activities and immediate predecessors. Predecessors means already we have seen about predecessor activity, which means occurred బిఫోర్ అంటే ముందుగా జరిగినవి. మనకి యాక్టివిటీస్ అలాగే యాక్టివిటీస్ కన్నా ముందు జరిగిన యాక్టివిటీస్ ఇక్కడ మనకి ఇచ్చాడు. ది యాక్టివిటీస్ ఆర్ గివెన్ ఫ్రమ్ ఏ టు ఐ. ద ఇమీడియట్ predecessor, see, near A there is no immediate predecessor and near D also there is no immediate predecessor. From this question we can understand that A and D are the starting events. I'm writing here with a small are the starting events. Here A and D are the starting events. A and D are the starting events. Now see, A is the predecessor for both B and C, which means B and C are coming from A, and from D E is coming out, and from B C and E, see, from B C and E F is coming out, and now from F G is coming, and from D H. Here see, E and D are from H, and in the same way G and H are from, I is from G and H. This is the question. From this question we are finding that A and D are the starting activities, and I is the terminal activity or last activity. I is the terminal activity or last activity. Now let's see how to construct a network diagram. See, here already there is, from the given constraints it is clear that A and D are the starting activity and I is the terminal activity, which means here the starting activities are A and D. See here, from these are the starting events, and B and C are starting with the same event. Here B and C are starting with A. Okay, so we are drawing a circle with B activity and C activity. Here B and C are also the predecessors of F, and the same as G is also a predecessor of F and H. Here why H? Have a doubt, because here see, D is the predecessor of both E and H. Here we can observe that from BCE we are getting F, and from D we are getting E, and in the same way we are getting H from D also. So here we are going to draw, see, here E has to be the predecessor of both F and H. Why? Because H means hence we have to introduce a dummy activity. So we have to introduce a dummy activity here. Once have a look over this. Here already A and D are the starting events, and B, C, E are starting from A, and from B, C, E we are going to start F. Already we know that F is coming from all the three activities B, C, E. So in order to show a link, we are drawing a dummy line there. Here we are adding a dummy activity. From this we are getting F, and in the question already F is the predecessor of G. That means G is coming from F. So here we are drawing, see, from F G is coming out. Okay, now see, we know that E and H are the predecessors of F. In the question we are seeing that, see here, H is coming from D and E also is coming from D, whereas the both E and H are coming from D. We are taking H from E. Why? Because D is the predecessor of E and it is also the predecessor of D, because D is an activity. Before H, the activity D is completed. So from the D activity we are having, finally we are going to have this network, because I is the I is coming from the Z activity, G and H activity. Okay, so this is the final network diagram. Thank you so much.